All right. Oh, hello. Okay.
Hello! All right, behind the scenes, it's the Big Show TV. That's how we roll these days. Because they changed the timing of the news. So now that the news is exactly at 8 a.m., we don't come on 8 a.m. live. Okay, in case you're wondering, people.
Yeah.
All right, so we come on live on the radio after headline news and sports. But right now, we introduce our guest every Thursday, Mr. Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International. Good morning.
Good morning, Glenn. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Yeah, we were all missing you. So it's like, oh, no, but now that you're back, wow, welcome and so happy to have you here.
Thank you,
nice,
Adrian.
yeah.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I missed you for even longer because I went for the China trip.
Yes, correct.
And then after I went for my golf trip and then cleared a week off. So I haven't seen you for about 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's been a long time since you've seen Adrian.
I missed you too.
Oh God, listen to these two.
I hope they were well behaved.
Someone
Angel
get the
and-
tissue.
Oh, they always are. It's so fun. It was fun having Juliana.
Oh yeah, Juliana was in as well.
Correct. Yeah,
She's awesome.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
it was good.
So who was naughtier, Angel or Juliana?
Of
course it was Angel.
They were both angels. They're nice. Angel was an angel. Juliana was nice as well.
So funny, Angel's name is Angel.
Yes.
When
What
she's
to
not
do?
really an angel. Don't tell her I said it though. I don't think she's watching lah. Because at this point, I think she should be on the plane already.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell
whatever
you-
we say here about her stays here.
Tell you who else is awake. Trevor Nerva is listening to us when watching us from Vietnam. He's off in Vietnam.
Oh, good morning, Vietnam.
Morning, Trevor.
That's right. Good morning, Trevor in Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Hey, wait, hold on. There are floods in Vietnam right now. There's a typhoon
There's
going
a
on,
typhoon.
I think it's already hit
Okay.
and done, but a lot of devastation in
Trevor,
Vietnam.
make sure you just don't just relax, and why don't you help them out? I mean, help them clear up,
You never know. That could be why he's there.
Yeah.
Because he does a fair amount of charity work as well.
Do something, even more useful. I mean, you can enjoy Vietnam, but, try and help them out as well.
So in other words, he says what you're doing is you're being useless in Vietnam. Please be useful.
So I was like, after saying it, I'm like, damn it, I should have chosen my words a little bit better.
But it was bad at Vietnam. They shut down
was very
the
bad.
airport
Yeah.
for a day, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Huge, strong winds.
Yeah, I saw the videos, right? The motorbikes being like blown around.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
scary.
I mean, that's why it's a typhoon, right?
Yeah.
We've never experienced anything like that here in Singapore.
We're very lucky. We're just outside the belt. So we're very lucky. And it's not only us. I mean, America's got it. Louisiana is preparing for,
That's true.
for a massive
No, I think
one.
it's hit Louisiana already.
Has it already hit? Oh, man.
The funny thing about us Singaporeans, because we've been so sheltered, literally sheltered, that when we are overseas and something happens, you don't know what to do. For instance, I had a friend, he went over to Taiwan, right? There was an earthquake.
Okay.
He didn't know what to do. He was thinking, do I jump under the bed? Do I jump under the table? Do I stand in the doorway? He just didn't know what to do, and the whole building was just shaking.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we shouldn't be so complacent here in Singapore because one day we're going to experience really strong winds. I mean, we have experienced strong winds that have
Toppled trees and
yeah, exactly. And I feel like these stupid trees here in Singapore sometimes, right? There are too many of these trees.
And too big and too old, right?
And
So,
overarching as well, East Coast
Yeah.
on the way to the airport.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
scary when the winds are blowing so very heavily. I fear for people who are on motorbikes and all
Yes,
that because if a
yes.
branch comes down and hits them, they're gone. No.
Yeah.
So I just want to appeal to the Ministry of Trees here in Singapore. These overarching trees, right? I can't remember which stretch it is, but especially East Coast towards the airport. Make sure they inspect it because it really does look very, very dangerous.
Very scary.
I think if there are strong winds, these trees are gonna come tumbling down, and it's gonna hurt people.
Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get hurt
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I love trees and all that, but sometimes I feel like we overdo it.
Moll has come on and said, "Where's Angel? Angel is in Koh Samui applying for Thai citizenship." Just to let you know.
Wow.
She's
You know,
gone
people
up there
will
for a
believe
few-
you,
I did for a moment. Wow, okay. It's like, where do I sign up? I want to do also.
No, she's gone up for a well-deserved rest. Well-deserved
What do you mean well-deserved rest? You know how many breaks she's taken already? Well-deserved rest.
I'm trying to be nice here.
I had a well-deserved rest.
This is true.
You cannot rest anymore, actually, because you rested your back and yourself for about 3 months.
That's true. I have no rest till after Christmas.
I had forgotten how to take a break, quite frankly,
Yeah.
until the last time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yours was a long
We're going back on.
Okay.
Are we going on now? Yes.
Yes.
We are.
And that's your sports update. I'm Melissa Hia.
Kiss 92 Sports is brought to you by SPC. Formulated with advanced additives and friction reduction technology, SPC Level effectively cleans your engine, restores power and performance for a smoother, more responsive drive, all with greater fuel savings.
Kiss 92.
I listen all day.
My favorite station. We love it. Kiss 92.
Turn it up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Get up.
You get out of bed this instant.
And turn it on.
Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. If you're watching us on The Big Show TV and you're wondering what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to touch Angel. Because, there's a square, and of course, there's Angel's, photo there.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, for those of you who are watching us and listening to us, okay, look at Angel's photo, right?
Right.
So we're talking about the Pope this afternoon and what you can wear and what you can't wear to the
Yes.
Mass.
Not supposed to wear that.
Really?
Not supposed to wear that. Yeah.
Because it's off shoulder.
It's off shoulder. You're supposed to be conservatively dressed.
I see. Okay, so ladies, don't forget to put on your sweaters and
No,
and all
not
that.
sweaters. Conservatively dressed.
Okay.
Conservatively.
Don't forget to just maybe put on a t-shirt or something like that.
As long as your shoulders are covered, you're fine.
T-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
All right. Plus, you must go in either white or yellow and all that.
No, that's a suggestion because those are the Vatican colors. It's only a suggestion. You don't have to go in.
Why is the Pope not in white and yellow?
I don't question the man on that. He's the head of the Catholic Church.
Okay.
He can do whatever he wants.
You know why I'm asking him all these questions, not Adrian? Because he is the staunchest Catholic ever.
Nonsense.
We're all Catholics, but then, I haven't been to church in ages.
I've got to admit, if I don't go to church, I feel very guilty. I feel terribly guilty.
And then you have to go for confession.
Confession, yeah.
I have to say, the Catholics who are like myself, the slackers. Later, I'll tell you what's on my
I was waiting to see where he was going with this.
I was waiting for confessions.
Okay, Adrian Choo, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about interviews. And what's interesting is that there was an article in the newspapers very recently that indicated a lot of Singapore employers will be ramping up their hiring in the fourth quarter, which is great news for all of us.
Yeah. I read that article. Yeah.
It's very promising. A lot of them want to increase the headcount. They want to expand their teams, and it's wonderful. So there will be an uptick in hiring in the next quarter. So today I thought it would be interesting to talk about interviews, but not so much about how do you interview, but to flip the script to see what exactly are hiring managers, HR, all those individuals who are doing the interview, what are they looking for when they interview a person?
Right.
So, what are the 5 key things, indicators, 5 key signals that they're looking for before they say, yep, I want this guy, I love him, you're hired.
Is this across the board here in Singapore in terms of the various industries? I mean, everyone is hiring right now?
Well, according to the report, they say that the finance sector is hiring, the tech sector is also hiring. But to be fair, the finance and the tech sector are also letting people go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a constant pruning of reshaping of the workforce. So some people are being let go, some people are being hired. So I hope you have the skills that are needed in the market, then you'll be probably in good demand.
Yeah, because it's big numbers. I read the report you're talking about. They said something like 46% of people they interviewed said their companies were going to be hiring. That's a lot. That's very high.
Yeah.
That's very.
You mean
high.
they've stopped hiring? I didn't know they stopped hiring. Everything seemed all right. Our economy is starting to improve as well, so that's probably the reason why. We're only now starting to see some companies hire or rehire people.
Yeah, and I think it's a good sign. Well, no matter what the reasons are, it's a good sign. And when companies hire, they're basically anticipating a better 2025 ahead. So that augurs well for all of us. And let's, even as we are polishing our CVs and getting ready for that switch to the new job, as you're going to interviews, how do the hiring managers think, and how do we get onto their radars?
Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Gracie Abrams with Risk on Kiss 92.
Remember, we're talking about what employers are going to be looking for. If you have questions, please put them on our Facebook, put them on our YouTube. We'll try to get to as many questions as we can.
Okay, we are talking to Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. And once again, if you would like to get in touch with Adrian, you can do so. Send him an email, won't you? info@careeragility.org.
So this time around, Adrian, what are the employers looking for?
Well, I think for every interview, besides the skills and everything you have, I think if you ask me what's the biggest deal breaker for an interview, a person can have all the skills and everything they have fully qualified. I think the biggest thing is whether or not they like you. Because between 2 or 3 qualified candidates, the one who's most likable will probably get a job.
The one with the nicest face and the nicest
that
smile.
Too. And I think that's a component of whether I like you. Because if I'm going to work with this person for the next 2 years or 3 years, and if at the outset I don't like him, there's something about him that doesn't vibe well with me.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, down the road. So it's all, sometimes it's a beauty contest. Sometimes it's a popularity contest. And sometimes, even if you may not be the most qualified person, but if you're the most likable person who can do the job well enough and I trust you enough, that person will actually get a job. So when we go for interviews, I always tell our clients, you have to make sure that you don't come across as unlikable. I've seen individuals who have been disagreeable during interviews. No, I don't agree with you. Things like that. I know this true story. This person was going for an interview, and he parked his car in the car park, and he got into an argument with someone who wanted a lot as well. Turns out that person was the interviewer.
No,
that's ouch. It's like another one. No, he got into the lift, and the lift door was closing. Instead of opening the door, he just stood there. And the door closed on the other guy was coming in. The guy was interviewer. So stupid things that happen. Sometimes it's almost it's good enough for a Judd Apatow comedy movie. But it's like, oh shucks, you're the guy who was interviewing me, It's like, so it happens. So in terms of being likable, I think it's very important.
Yeah.
How does, and I know there are people out there, the conservative ones, the introverts, how does one make oneself likable?
I think the bigger question is how do I avoid being unlikable?
Okay,
right? Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that
correct,
way.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's you don't have to ingratiate yourself. You don't have to kiss a brown nose or kiss up to the person. And it's okay if you're just neutral, but there are some things that come across as unlikable. One thing I've noticed from my experience in interviewing people, I don't like the know-it-all.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially the one who comes in for interview and tells you what's wrong with your business. I would do this. No, this is wrong. Your website looks ugly. You should sell this. No, your product is positioned wrongly. The pricing. It's like, okay, you really think you know that much about my business? And if you do, then fine, But if you're just coming in, and if you know-it-all,
Yeah. Exactly. There was something wrong with the EQ, or that one.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And can you imagine, just at the interview, you're behaving like this?
Yeah.
Imagine when you start working with me, you're going to rub everyone around.
See, these are the people, right, who are so set in their ways. They're probably like very strong-headed, hard-headed people. And they want to set the standard from the very beginning, trying to tell you, okay, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't expect me to be anybody else along the way. You want to hire me, you hire me. You don't want to hire me, so be it. But then again, there's some people who don't think that way. They're not thinking like, oh, if you want to hire me, hire me. You don't want to hire me, don't hire me. They actually want you to hire them, but then they behave like idiots.
That's true.
So immediately, okay, forget it.
Yeah.
Let's just pass.
FD, have you come across candidates that you've interviewed who immediately you didn't like them? And sometimes it's just the chemistry.
FD sees face.
Sometimes just the face,
Face is one of the things. I don't. It's not face. It's a little more than that. It's the complete image, because you're going into an industry that I've always believed is very, very image conscious.
So in other words, you're looking at the vital statistics.
I'm looking at the package.
Full package.
First of all, does the package even suit the industry? You know,
What package are you looking for? A cup, B cup,
oh, you
C
stop
cup?
it, you're full of nonsense. No, I'm not looking at that at all. And then I look at qualifications. Then I look at likability, and then it is
Likability meaning nice teeth or what?
no
With braces or without braces?
likability.
Invisalign or
No, likability meaning can you and I get along? After that is, can my team get along with you?
How are you going to find all that out?
No, but you see, it's a feel you get, because you know your existing team. You know how they work. You know what will fit in. But at the same time, if I really want someone, then I'm going to brief my existing team that this person is the next cog that we need in the wheel. So when it comes to acceptance, it's not just about the team accepting the new person. It's about sometimes the team must be willing to give.
Yeah.
To
True.
give space for that new person to come in. Sometimes teams are very closed, so the new person can't get in. And it's management's job to open that up, to make sure that person can come in if you see that person as the next cog in the wheel.
Girl or guy?
Doesn't matter to
I
me.
think it makes a difference, because a guy, you can just throw the guy in there and just let everyone kick him and let him learn the tough way.
There
But
are-
for
for
a
a girl-
lady, you cannot do that.
But I tend to treat everybody the same way, whether you're a guy or girl. So, and it's all about nurturing.
So you're like a bisexual.
Adrian, what do I do with, as an employer, what do I do with this?
report to HR. Okay,
Report to
HR.
But yeah, that's how I handle it. That's how I handle it.
I think the other thing about likability as well. I've actually had an interview once with a candidate, and he was asking very, very annoying questions. Okay, like if I travel on business class, and if I travel, do I get business class tickets? If I travel to Hong Kong, is it on business class? You know, what's your... So lots of questions which I don't think is quite necessary.
Okay, let's bring
go
that
ahead
up.
and talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, let's bring that one up. It's going to be interesting.
Kiss 92 Traffic.
Traffic.
Okay, let's take a look at that. No, sorry, I was looking at something else.
No, because usually Angel does traffic.
Yeah,
you
I'm
see.
used to
But I was
weather.
telling him this morning, let me do weather.
Yeah.
Because
He hates doing traffic.
no, he's the traffic CEO. You see.
AYE towards the MCE, a vehicle broken down at Jurong Town Hall Road exit. BKE towards Woodlands, a vehicle broken down after the KJE exit. Also on the KJE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down at Sungai Tengah Road exit. PIE towards Tuas, a vehicle broken down before the AYE exit. What else? SLE towards the BKE, an accident after Upper Thompson Road causing all kinds of congestion. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is the CEO and founder at Career Agility International, the one and only Mr. Adrian Choo.
Good morning, everyone. And it's a very wet... It's been a wet week, hasn't it?
It has.
I like it. Too
nice
bad for
and
you.
cool,
How's it affecting your golf games?
No, I've not experienced rain actually.
Oh, wow.
It's been
At
quite
all.
good, yeah.
You see,
Oh,
I
nice.
mean, I'm so tanned. Every time it might rain in the morning, but then the afternoon it'll just clear up, and somehow over the golfing area, the sun will shine
Oh,
brightly.
wow. Just for you. Just for you.
I would like to think
That's
that. I
nice.
would like to think that. Anyway, I just want to very quickly acknowledge my traffic CEO here,
Oh, right.
whom I miss. He's very, very good when he does traffic. So is Angel. But I mean, he's traffic CEO, Angel is traffic warden. Shh. But once again, don't tell her that. This is just between us. Whatever we say about her stays here. Okay.
Okay.
Back to what we're talking about today. Companies rehiring.
Yeah, and for those of us who are going for interviews, how do you increase your chances? How do the hiring managers decide who to hire? And one of the things they're looking at always is, do I like this guy or lady? Do I like this person? Can I work with this person? And I once had an interview with this individual who came in, and instead of asking about the job, what it entails, what the challenges are, the first few questions he asked was, what are the benefits here?
Oh, straight to the
away,
benefits.
If I were to fly on for business to Hong Kong, is it on economy or is it on business class? And if I flew to Taiwan, because the reason is because some companies will fly you on business class if it's more than 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, like to Hong Kong, like to Japan or anywhere else. So Hong Kong is 5 hours. So whether or not you get a business class ticket or what, depends on the company policy. But I think it's a bit premature to be asking at the interview what are the perks. I mean, you're here to look for whether it's a good fit, whether this is a good move for you career-wise, and you're asking about, what size of, there's a car allowance, or what size car am I going to get? Immediately starts to piss the hiring manager off already. It's like, you're not talking business, you're talking about these perks. I'm concerned. So immediately when you start talking about this, these are all red flags. Really
Would it be okay if, let's say, they decide on hiring the guy, and then obviously after that he will get the contract, right?
Yeah.
And then if he were to ask those questions, it would be more appropriate.
I think even before the contract is signed, after all the preliminary discussions, maybe in the second or third round,
Right.
And if you ask those questions,
not the first.
but up front,
impression.
it's like it's a bit strange because these are not normal behaviors you would see from an individual who's got his head screwed on, right?
If I heard that in the first interview, I would. My first thought is, how much are you trying to bleed me for?
Yeah.
But she's gorgeous, Abdi.
No, makes no difference to me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Saying that because your wife is listening.
No,
Right now.
no, not at all. But it's just, it looks like you want to take.
Yes, correct. Rather than contribute, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's a wrong signal to be sent.
Yeah.
That's like some wives.
I didn't
Take.
I didn't hear that. So.
All right,
Okay.
it's 8:22.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you
Luckily, that was off air.
Yeah, oof.
Damn it, I think it was on air.
That was on it.
Okay, Mal has got a question, and it's interesting. The likability of an applicant,
Yeah.
does it start with your resume? Mal asks, how important is an ATS-friendly resume? My resume is still old school, with a picture and fanciful fonts. I didn't bother to make it ATS compatible. Does that likability start with the first time I open that resume?
I think not, because the resume is just text. It's just conveys a story. If it's well written, then yes, I will be neutral towards it. But if it's badly written, if it's like 16 pages, then my likability for this individual goes down straight away, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's in bad English, in the sense that it's just simply typos all over the place, my likability may drop. So, and the big question a lot of people ask is, should I put my photo on the CV?
Yeah.
And I always say don't. Okay, because you there's very little, unless you look stunningly beautiful, okay, or you really have a really good looking face, you can put it in. But even then, you run the risk of the person opening up your CV and saying, hey, I don't like his face. I don't like her face. She reminds me of my ex. He looks like the guy who bullied me when I was in school. So you're opening yourself up to prejudice if you put the photo. Honestly speaking, if they wanted to see your face, they would just go on LinkedIn and probably you would have a photograph there anyway. So I would say don't put the photograph in there. Photographs are not usually ATS friendly. ATS stands for Application Tracking System. So a lot of big companies, they have this automated system where you see a job being advertised, you click apply and you send in your CV, and the system automatically passes through your CV looking for keywords, looking for experience. It's basically a keyword thing.
Oh, okay.
And if you strike like more than 30%, more than 50-80% of the keywords, then it gets prioritized higher. See, so some people try and game the system. They look at the job description, the keywords in the job description, they feed it through ChatGPT, and they try and get say, can you put these keywords into my CV so that I'll get a higher hit rate? And then so they're trying to game it. Ultimately, what we believe is this: for most people, you don't really need the ATS, because if you have a good job, if you have a good fit for the job, you have a good fit for the job already. You don't game it. Even if you game it, and you do get a job interview because you gamed it, you may not get a job because you basically engineered the interview for a job which you may not have been qualified for.
Right.
You know, it's like so I got all the keywords right, but instead I talk to me, and then suddenly it's like, hey, wait, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. So ATS, yes, some companies are using it. A good CV is important, but you know what's even more important than a good CV?
What?
A good LinkedIn page. Because a LinkedIn page, more people see your LinkedIn page than they do see your CV. Because when I'm doing a job search, when I'm a headhunter or I'm a recruiter or I'm a hiring manager, I will look through LinkedIn first. I say, oh, this guy is interesting. Let me send him an email. Are you keen on this role? Can you send me your CV? So if your LinkedIn page is not up to scratch, or if your LinkedIn page is not telling the right story,
Right.
I'm not going to ask you for your CV in the first place. So I've seen people with LinkedIn pages that are totally blank. No photograph, just a name, and I don't know what. So
So do you have to put everything down on LinkedIn? Like everything? No, right?
I think just enough information for the person to understand how you can contribute.
Right.
And that's about it.
Do you have to put like all your degrees and certificates on
I would.
on LinkedIn?
Yeah, because a lot of people don't, how much is enough?
Yeah.
Where do I stop?
Because sometimes, as much as you're proud of your qualifications, you kind of like don't want the whole world to see it.
Yeah, you
Is
don't
there
want to
such a
like
thing?
oversell.
Yeah, you
know
don't
what
want
I
to oversell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think the general rule of thumb is just enough for the hiring manager that of the role that you want to target, you want to get into, has enough information to get him interested enough to pick up the phone and call you or drop you an email.
Right.
That's about it. If you overshare too much.
Yeah.
I actually saw this individual who was so proud of his sales figures, because he's a sales guy.
Put everything up.
He put everything up, last year's sales numbers and everything, and I said, no, if I was a competitor, I'd be so happy.
Exactly.
I know how much you sold last year, your margins and everything,
Because look, LinkedIn is not Facebook, but I always think that LinkedIn is like it's very similar. So
Isn't it the business version of Facebook?
It unfortunately has become Facebook.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are posting
Right.
stupid things on it. Like,
I've
you know
seen.
what, I drank a cup of coffee today. I feel so, so what's that? What's the little thing they're talking about? So demure or whatever. I have no idea. They're taking photographs of themselves drinking, or sitting by a river or whatever. It's just become so social media-ish
Yeah.
that I think LinkedIn is losing its appeal or its power in terms of being a strong communication channel.
Right.
But nonetheless, LinkedIn is still powerful for your own branding because, like for instance, if FD was meeting an individual, could be a potential client or could be a potential sponsor. He's the CEO of the company. You want to find out more info about him? What do?
You go to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same
Straight
thing.
away.
So that's why you will be looked up on LinkedIn. You have to have a good enough information and professional looking enough for them to go, oh, okay, wow, this guy.
But what is that vital information? Because FD could have also gone to his other social media pages. Could be like Facebook or Instagram, or maybe he's on TikTok even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think on LinkedIn, what's important is to put your who you are, what you've done, the companies you've been with, and just enough information in there to let a person have a good idea about what you can do for them.
And as you guys have always pointed out on this show for years and years and years, a proper photograph.
Proper photograph. Yes.
Very
I once saw this LinkedIn photograph of this guy with his grandma.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and I thought, okay, for Facebook,
Maybe I
okay
just
lah.
lost his grandma
I don't
and
think
was
so. I
paying
know,
tribute to the grandmother.
No, I know this guy, so
Oh.
he wasn't. Another one that showed his he went on a holiday to Tibet, and it was a picture of him with a llama, not the religious llama, a llama, alpaca llama.
Oh, right.
Okay, he and the llama, in the profile photo, him and the llama, And I said, which one are you? You have to clarify. I do not know which one. What? This is Adam Lim bracket left.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, it's like, why do you put a picture of your holiday pictures in there? So,
Wow.
so you have, once again, like what FD always says, it's about the brand, it's about your branding. So LinkedIn is important game, and we actually conduct LinkedIn optimization courses.
That's good.
So it's almost a 2-hour sessions, and that's how deep, that's how much attention you got to pay for your your LinkedIn profile.
Right.
So it's just not about sound bites over the air.
How
So-
do people find out when you're doing this?
Or they can just drop me an email, info@careeragility.org. If you want us to just have a look at your LinkedIn profile,
Right.
whether it's on point or whatever it is, just drop us a note. But I think your LinkedIn profile is one of the most important career assets you must have. It's more important than your CV, honestly. So a lot of people pay money, $600 to get a CV done, but they are barking up the wrong tree. Your LinkedIn profile is way more important. And if you position it wrongly, you're not even going to get the phone calls. And
Okay.
that's how important it is. So
I think I'm going to set up a new LinkedIn page. Because I set mine up when LinkedIn first came about, such a long time ago. Right?
Do you need to set up? Does he need to set up a new one, or
No, just
does,
for fun, lah.
or does he have to just edit what he currently has?
just edit lah. It's okay.
Yeah?
But you're not much on LinkedIn, right?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yours is more Facebook and the socials.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
I'm
social.
I'm always looking for like new things to. Maybe there'll be a new LinkedIn. Okay, wait, let's go now.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Let's take a look at that and see what's happening. We've got the usual delays across the expressways, that's for sure. AYE towards the MCE, a vehicle broken down at Jurong Town Hall Road. BKE towards Woodlands, a vehicle broken down after the KJE. KJE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down at Sungai Tengah Road. PIE towards Tuas, another vehicle broken down before the AYE exit. We have an accident on the SLE towards the BKE after Upper Thompson Road, causing all kinds of a mess. Please stay within the speed limit, have everyone buckled up, be safe as you drive today.
See, what a pro, FD.
Yeah,
Hasn't
I know.
done traffic in such a long time, but, once he does traffic, it's like, whoo!
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you see Dick Lee and go, Dick Lee, sing Burung Kakak Tua, please. Right now. Straight away. Or Vernon Cornelius, sing me a Cliff Richard song right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like that. They can do it.
Muscle memory.
Our guest for today is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. We're talking about the very positive outlook to our economy and the fact that more companies are hiring.
Yeah.
They are going to rehire.
Yeah.
Some may have laid a number of people off, but they're going to replenish their
The workforce.
staff once
Yes,
again, their
that's right,
workforce.
that's right.
So that's good. That's great news. Does this mean that our economy is going in the right direction?
I believe so, and that's why I think 2025 will be a good year. But however, having said that, retrenchments will still carry on, and I think retrenchments are going to be part of the fabric of our employment landscape moving forward, because companies have no choice. They have to keep what we call pruning the tree, because basically, new branches will grow up. Then some of the old technologies, the old products have to be sunset or grandfathered, as they call it. Then that's why, as employees for ourselves, we need to be agile enough to identify what areas to move out of and what areas to go into, either within the organization or outside. And that's why if these companies are hiring, then what's good is that if you're applying for those jobs, you got to make sure that you clear the interviews. And besides the likability factor, as we said earlier, I think one of the more important areas which the hiring manager looks for, which is not mentioned, okay, is when I interview this person, even if he can do the job right now, does he have capacity for growth? Because the last thing I want to do is hire someone who is good at his job now, but he's at his limit of capabilities. And after 3 years, he's going to say, I'm bored. Boss, what do I do? And I look at him and I go like, yeah, but this you can't grow anymore because you're stuck where it is. So when hiring managers hire, especially for senior level positions, they want to see someone who has capability for even more things. In fact, I know some companies who believe that I'm not hiring you for this role, I'm hiring you for the next. So you must demonstrate to me during the interview that you can do this job and more, because I want to hire for potential.
Right. So are you saying that they're hiring to increase your scope of work, or they're hiring because you are promotable?
A bit of both. The best type of candidates are those that who show promise that, okay, in this role and even more, because I want to retain this person for the next 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years, hopefully.
Okay.
And I want to see that he's in my old company Shell, we used to have this term called the current estimated potential. You know, what level can you rise up to? If I'm estimating your potential now to be like 2 or 3 job grades above what you're coming in for, I would love to hire you because I know you've got potential.
Right.
But if I'm hiring a job grade 5 role, right? Supposing, and the guy only is a 5. Then I know that this guy is would factor in a bit lower than someone who's got a high potential.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if he can do the job now. I want to see, is this guy promotable, like what you said?
Yeah.
You know, it's a good Netflix show to watch that is along, these lines.
What's that?
Someone looking to put together a perfect team to meet a certain, objective. A Japanese TV show, a TV series called La Grande Maison Tokyo.
Okay, that's going to be my weekend binge.
La Grande Maison Tokyo.
Okay.
Very, very good show. I just finished it yesterday.
Oh,
11
wow.
episodes only.
Okay.
Yeah.
On.
But a really, really good show. All right, we're speaking to Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International. We'll continue to speak to Adrian on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Mooney Long with The Baddest on Kiss 92.
Love is harder when you're rich and you're...
I've got a question, Adrian, when it comes to hiring, especially when you're hiring to enlarge a team. Is HR the right person to decide, this guy is a good fit? Or should we get, at some point, someone from that team to get involved in the interviews to decide whether this person is a good fit?
Good question. I personally think a bit of both. So the individual should be interviewed by HR. It should also be interviewed by the business leader, the hiring manager. And I think one of the best ways is to let the team meet him as well, especially if the person has to work closely with the team.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. Number one, you want the team to assess him, whether or not he has the skills, whether he can do the things he's needed to do for the team, and whether they like him. The other thing is, it's good for him to know who he's going to work with. Because if he comes in and he feels that this team actually, I'm not comfortable with them, so he can decide to decline. Or maybe he comes in and says, oh man, I love these guys. These guys are good, they're fun. Where do I sign? So there's a bigger buy-in. So I always believe that it's great if you could meet the team, especially if you are going for an interview and you are going for an interview for a manager position. I think sometimes it's good that you get to interview your teammates. Or your staff.
At least someone who's coming in to work with you, is it?
Yeah, I think it's good that you meet the whole group of people.
It's funny that you should bring this up because I was just talking to a friend recently. He's a manager. His team consists of, I think, 3 or 4 individuals, right? And HR filled this particular position, which was going to be a position of this guy who would be his kind of right-hand person.
Okay.
So this guy was going to assist my friend. But this guy is a real dodo bird. Can't seem to do things right. Talks a lot, makes a lot of excuses. He's got like a week to do something. He waits for the last minute. And a lot of the time, this friend of mine, he's the one who gets reprimanded.
Oh, wow.
As a result of, the job not getting done properly.
Wow.
Right? So I told him, I said, why don't you just go up to HR and just go like, look, you did not consult me. I can't work with this guy. Just move him somewhere else, right? But this friend of mine is such a nice guy. he just keeps on trying to train this person and tries to guide this person, but this guy just keeps on messing up time and time again. What would you do?
I would go to HR and tell HR because it is impacting your own performance.
Exactly.
Can you imagine that? It's like,
I said, you're so stupid. No?
and then I've got to I mean, he's just Mr. Nice Guy, you see.
Yeah.
But sometimes nice guys finish last.
Sometimes nice guys cannot be managers.
No, that's true. And some nice guys have this syndrome that Yen and I call wanting to be Mr. Popular.
Oh, but not this guy. He doesn't want to be Mr. Popular.
Yeah,
he should be more popular than he actually is, though. But very low profile, and always like stressed out about work. And I'm like, you've got so many people around you who are supposed to be working with you.
Yeah.
You should be more of a supervisory, person right now. But you're taking everything on. Why? Because he says it's easier to do things himself. They're not capable. I'm like, oh my god.
It's tough. But sometimes if it's impinging on your performance and your bonuses, then I would say you need to have that tough discussion. Because I hate to say, there are some people, most people are trainable, but there are some people who are not trainable. Either they have a mental block, or they're not interested, they don't want to do it.
Right.
Then if you've tried your best, then sometimes you got to make the tough decisions.
Adrian, when we talk about enlarging teams, right? Is there any point in the interview process where, as the interviewee, I can ask to meet the team?
You can actually. Down the road, before the offer is being made, if they are keen on you, that is, and you see it progressing well, you can actually say, can I meet the team? Sometimes the role is a confidential replacement. They haven't fired the guy yet.
Right.
Then you can't meet the team because you cannot let the cat out of the bag, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes that's not possible, but in most times you can actually ask, can I meet the team? And more importantly, can I meet the boss? If you're not being interviewed by the boss, can I meet the boss?
Right.
Okay. And sometimes they say, the boss is very busy, or the boss hasn't come in yet. He's gonna join in about 2 months' time, but right now the information is embargoed for NDA, for non-disclosure agreements, whatever it is, confidentiality. But when you come and join us first, then the boss will join. Then it's like, can you tell me who he is? No, we can't tell you who he is. Oftentimes, I say there's a red flag. Because the person coming on board, you never know, he could be someone you pissed off 3 jobs ago. He could be the guy you bullied in school. So I think you must have the full set of information before going in, because it's, especially if you're leaving your already good job. If you resign and there's nothing left, then okay, it's fine. But if you're already living a very good job where you're doing very well, and you move into a role, you want to minimize as much of that risk as possible. So insist that, okay, when he comes on board, I'll join, or at least let me know, or let me have a coffee with him to see whether or not there's a meeting of the mind, because I'm going to work with him. If I don't know who he is, then that's tricky. And a lot of times, new bosses come in, they bring their own stuff with them, and then they might turn around and say that, like what you said with your friend, I didn't hire this guy. Yeah, I didn't hire this guy. Why is he working? He's an idiot.
Yeah,
they might think the same thing about you see. So I always say, get the full set of information before you even go for it, before you sign on the dotted line.
But what if you hear about someone coming in and you know the individual, and you know the individual is not ideal, a bit of a troublemaker, based on his history? Do you then tell the hiring manager, look, I know this guy, don't hire him?
I wouldn't tell him don't hire him. I would just say I'm not comfortable working with him. Because it's not your decision to say don't hire him.
Right.
Unless you know the guy's a crook.
But then when you say I'm not comfortable working with him, their next question is going to be, so why?
Why?
Then what? Do you answer that question?
I plead the fifth. I don't want to say anything. Okay. No, I would just say it's I've worked with him before, and I don't think our styles match. Or you can just say that I'm just not comfortable, and don't have to give any reasons. You're not obliged to give any reasons, but just say I'm not comfortable working with him. I don't think there's good chemistry.
Yeah,
it's okay. Don't. You must jump in with your eyes wide open for all these type of roles. It's very, very risky. Every job move is risky.
Right. But if you're desperate for them not to hire him, can you say something like, well, once we were standing next to each other and he grabbed my backside?
You see, that only comes from a Glenong,
I mean,
has that ever happened to you?
What? No, never.
But
I'm just saying. I mean, What can I tell the hiring manager? You know what I mean? If I'm desperate, I really don't want to work with the person. Is he going to ask that person, okay, why did you go and grab Glenn's backside? No. Okay, forget what I said. We're off air, right? Very good.
Thank God. Okay, so Mal, let's come back with another set of questions. How many rounds of interview are considered ideal when hiring? Also, do you agree with asking candidates to perform tasks like presentations as part of their interview?
I think can. Okay, Mal, a good question. I think 3 or 4 rounds is considered normal. Some companies make you go through 9.
Wow.
What?
That's a very big technology company that makes you go through 7 to 9 interviews. And it's painful.
That's months and months and months.
Yeah, it's terrible. But you know the company is very popular and they pay very well, so people don't mind. On the topic of work tasks, I think it's fair. It's a fair request. And shall we go on air? And
yes, let's do it.
Okay, good.
I'll ask you
on the topic of you
interviews.
Interviews. Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Alrighty, we've got usual delays across the expressways. There are going to be a few areas that you're going to have problems with for sure as you head off to work this morning. They include the PIE towards Changi, a vehicle broken down after Paya Lebar Road, SLE towards the CTE, an accident before Mandai Avenue, a lot of congestion there. TPE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down after Pasir Ris Drive 8. PIE towards Tuas, a vehicle broken down after Clementi Avenue 6. AYE towards the MCE, a vehicle broken down after Yuan Ching exit. And the TPE towards the SLE, a vehicle broken down at Tampines Avenue 12 exit. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. Good morning, Adrian. Last week, Yen was in the studio.
She was in the studio.
Yeah, I was listening last week, although I was on leave, but I was listening.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're dealing with interviews and what can and can't be done. Mal asks, do you agree with asking candidates to perform tasks like making presentations at an interview?
I think it's okay if it's not too tedious. And I think it's a good gauge. It's a good opportunity for you to show them your thinking, your thought processes behind what you can contribute. My only grouse is that sometimes the case study or the work which they give you is too tedious. It's almost like asking you, can you draw up the entire marketing strategy for 2025 for us? And it's like, yeah, I could, but I'm going to charge you for it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. But if it's a small task, how will you do this? Or this is a case study, a standard case study. I think it's okay, but don't spend too much time on it. I know this person who did like a 16 slide deck, slide presentation. And all they wanted to do was they just wanted to hear what your thought processes were, not all the details and everything. But on the flip side, I've actually heard of companies that do this and try to get information from you, try to get ideas from you, and not hire you at all.
So they take your presentation, use it, but not hire you.
Yeah, they take your ideas. They take your. So
it's horrible.
It's been done before. So I would always say exercise caution. Exercise caution, and don't invest too much time into that. Okay. I think what they want to see is just your thought processes, and whether or not you can communicate clearly, and that's about it.
Okay.
Let's continue to talk. Well, this is it. We have. I just realized it's 8:48.
Yeah,
how time has just flown by. Wow. Always when you're in the studio, Adrian.
Time flies when we're having fun, right?
Of course. Are you going down for the mass this afternoon?
No.
The Pope is in town. Welcome, Pope Francis, to Singapore. I mean, it's a big event. I do believe that compared to the Taylor Swift concerts, right? This is going to be even bigger. It's just that Taylor Swift was here for how many nights? Yeah. What, 5 nights? 6 nights or something like that? Nights. But if you put them, side by side, one show versus one show, I do believe that this is going to be huge.
I think it will be.
It's huge. I mean, you're talking about 50 plus thousand people?
Yeah.
You know, this afternoon, that entire area is just going to be, full.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I believe there'll be people outside the stadium as well.
I wouldn't
for
be
sure.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you know what? Yesterday I was watching TV and the Pope arrived, right? And you know the Jurassic Mile?
Yeah.
There were supposed to be 1,000 people there,
Yeah.
and they were all chanting, "Viva Papa Francesco! Viva Papa Francesco!" And then came two tourists from China, these two ladies, right? They were shouting, you know what not? "Diva Papa Francesco! Diva
No, they
Papa
weren't.
Francesco."
Stop it.
I'm like, oh my goodness. I just need to let you guys in on that.
No!
Yes, Diva Papa Francesco. Anyway, we all know what they
That is
really
true.
meant.
That is
Viva.
true.
And we all know what Viva means, right? Long live.
Long live.
Papa Francesco. Anyway, thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us today.
Always a pleasure to be here, and stay safe and stay dry over the weekend. It's going to be wet, I heard.
All right. Not while the Pope is in town, though.
For true.
It's going to be nice and hot this afternoon.
Lovely.
All right, headline news and sports up next. Meantime, here's Jonas Blue featuring Jack and Jack. This is Rise on Kiss 92.